Hi everyone, I'm Devika and I'm your techie tantrika. I hope all of you are having an amazing week this week, and I have a great friend with me today. This is Shofar Graves. Say hi.
Peace, peace. What's up, y'all?
Shofar Graves of Fosho Energy, which I absolutely love your name, Shofar, for your brand. It's just, I'm like, yes, flavor, you know? I love the flavor of that brand name. So Shofar really has an amazing niche. He's trained and very well versed in Chinese medicine, acupuncture, energy work, really revolving around qigong. It would seem, yeah. Were there any other energy practices you would also say
Well,
really?
I say, like we talked about before, reluctantly, Tantra as well, you know,
Yes,
and throwing
I
Tantra
agree.
is in there as well. And the thing with Tantra is, and that's a loaded conversation because, we've had really good conversations about what that means in the West.
Oh yes.
Maybe we could go into that a little bit somewhere in the conversation. So,
Oh,
but
for
to answer
sure.
your question, it's been Qigong and Tantra and Tree of Life. These are some of the modalities that all come together in this.
Which is absolutely an amazing combination. What I love about what you do, Shofar, is that not only are you available to people in the San Diego area, but you also are able to come to people, wherever they are. Like, I know you and I had a chance to work together with energy work through Skype, which was an amazing use of Skype. I love Skype, and I love the fact we were able to do that. And I
Yes.
love that you have a really holistic view on enhancing and clearing out the blockages of sexual energy, sensual energy, and creative energy for people, because you really understand the holistic standpoint of how those energies really play into the rest of our lives. I think it's absolutely amazing. And I was just wondering if you may be able to give some, background maybe on what brought you onto this path, because it's such a special path and such a special niche that you're really exploring and helping people with.
I appreciate it. First off, I appreciate all the kind words. I think you talk about someone else, but
No, I loved our work together. It was just, it was awesome. Like, I mean, I can get into our experience later. I want to I want to let you talk, but I have to definitely make sure I talk about our experience together, at least, a little bit in this conversation.
I appreciate that. Well, what brought me to this, and I love the fact too, like you're the techie tantrika, so it's only fitting that we do some tech, with
Right.
this, that we reach out and use Skype, and that is like spirituality and technology are all mixing together in this, and I love it. But what brought me to this path is sometimes I just kind of in amazement myself. Like I feel very fortunate to have met the people that I met. It was three masters basically that affected me. There was a first gentleman by the name of Yao Morris, and he affected me with the Qigong, Tantra, and Tree of Life. Then he introduced me to a second master, Shantam Nitiyama, and he was the first person I actually saw do the no hands, no touching, sensuality, orgasmic energy, bliss thing, and everything. And then he introduced me to one of his students, and I actually got my first actually session. Her name was Sasha Cobra, and that was my first time actually experiencing the energy myself, and it was amazing.
Wow.
And so after that session, it was just like I had been kind of for years like I want to do this, I want to do this, but she said before the session that when you get up on that table, you're going to see and feel how you've been holding yourself back. And it became very clear how I've been making excuses and the doubts, and it was like, I'm ready to do this. Like I can do this now. So that and about a year after that session, I was ready to do it myself then.
That's just amazing. Like, I mean, I love the fact that, these amazing experiences you had catalyzed you into further exploration, especially, within, the Chinese medicinal system, and really bringing in centuries of old, healthcare and wellness into where we are now. And like you said, this wonderful tie-in of being able to use the tech that we have now to bring this work and this energy to other people. It's amazing how our paths just take us into the most amazing places.
Oh, no question. It's even better than Pokemon Go, right?
I would say that's a nice spice to the, to life in general. Pokemon Go. I take it you've been taking a look at some of my videos about that.
Right.
It has its place, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no question. Remember, Comic Con was here in San Diego, and that was like huge here.
Oh my god, I really have to come down and see you and your office, and it has to be around Comic Con. I have to get all of it in at one point to see where the magic happens for everybody. For Comic Con, for you, for your clients. I have to get a feel. I've never actually been to San Diego, and actually, what inspired you to live in San Diego? I'm kind of curious.
Well, that's a story of itself. That was a journey.
Really?
I actually came out here following love and all of that, and I had met a woman on MySpace.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
so that's kind of dated me a little bit. MySpace. Like kids are like, what are that? What is that? MySpace? Well, I never heard of
What that?
it. What that be? So yeah, it was on MySpace, and she was living in New York at the time. I was still in Virginia. We decided to meet in San Diego of all places. I don't know why, because it's beautiful. And that didn't work out at that time or whatever. But I decided to stay out here, and here it is. 8 years later, I'm still here.
Amazing. And you found a really great school there that you've been also training in, right?
Yes, Pacific College of Oriental Medicine. I've been going part time, but it definitely my whole reason for even going into it in the beginning was just to give me more understanding about the energy. Again, this is 2011. I enrolled in the school, and I enrolled kind of still because I was still kind of looking for like the answers, like how does this stuff work, and
Right.
you know, and that last session that I told you about with Sasha, that was into 2013. So I enrolled into the acupuncture, like looking for like I still don't get it, like how do you put all of this together. And then after having a felt body experience of it, it just all the light bulbs went off. It was like, okay, I got it, I get it.
Amazing. And did you ever touch on Taoist Tantra? Did they ever actually go into that in your school, or is it just kind of enrolled into a larger picture with your schooling?
At the school I go to, it's basically just acupuncture and Chinese herbs.
Oh,
But I know that there's correlations and understanding, and
mm-hmm.
so like for instance, at the school that I go to, there we it's kind of like a Zhang Fu basis, which is Zhang Fu is like solid hollow theory. So it's basically that you have yin and yang organs,
Mm-hmm.
and that each one of these organs have positive and what we are called negative emotions associated with them. So in our diagnosis, we look at the tongue and we take the person's pulse.
Yeah.
And so it's these different things, and then we ask a series of questions. Kind of like in Ayurvedic maybe or whatever. You ask a series of questions so that you can kind of see where the energy is either excess or depleted, and then make your analysis accordingly. So even though it wasn't tantra based, I still saw the correlations to it.
That's amazing. Yeah, actually, I can totally relate to that. I had done Vipassana meditation for I would say at least a good 7 or even 10 years before I started bringing in Tantra. But there were so many things about, even just looking at extrasensory exercises where you really connect with things like even your food on, as many senses as possible, like all of your senses. And I'd even argue, not just your 5 senses, but your 6 senses. Just really, getting into what's in front of you, right? And it was such great training, and especially meditation too, because it really gets you focused, really gets you in the moment. And that, I would say, arguably, that's the senses and getting people in the moment are arguably the real core of, amazing sex, for example, and amazing experiences even just with yourself.
Right.
I was going to ask you too, because you and I have shared this amazing holistic, viewpoint on how sex and intimacy and sensuality really plays into the rest of our life. I can also see how with Chinese medicine, because that's a holistic practice, how that also plays in. But I was going to also ask you too, do you have favorite lineages of Tantra that you've come across that really you feel have influenced how you really have grasped Tantra and sacred sexuality?
Well, I know that there's like as your the first video that I actually saw you with the red path and the white path and the pink path. I'm on the black path. I don't know. It's the I don't know what the blueprint is. I was fortunate enough to just have those that series of masters, and I think Nitsuyama's his lineage is through Osho.
Yes.
He learned from Osho. He was like he gives credit to Osho being the one who set him free. And so
It's amazing.
that, but I don't really have a particular path. It's just been kind of open, and then those doors was open, and just kind of doing my own self exploration. I know that I'm really, none of us are really discovering anything new. This is stuff that has been around, has been on the planet before, forgotten, and being remembered.
You bring up such a great point. Like, I also think that I want to call this the faux show path. Like, this is your introduction of the tantra you've met in your life, bringing it forward to people the way you have so uniquely. And I've been meeting more and more people where, even though these oral lineages seem to, have been pieced apart and missing and, just not easy to come by at all, what's great is I'm meeting more and more people like yourself who, through your own transmission, your own intuition, and having your work come together the way it's weaving together, you're bringing back this essence of Tantra, and it is Tantra. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, what you do, I think, is very tantric because of how you're really looking at unleashing people's, suppressed energies or blocked energies. So, I mean, what more could somebody really be asking for, right? And I love, too, that people can work both in partners with you and, singularly as well, because I think that's really important part of Tantra, too, the fact that you don't just need a partner. Like, you can do this with a partner, but it's also about your own self-development and self-discovery and self-care, right? So